Hey folks, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley, and I just had a good time in court, boy. I won't be able to post this for some time, but I had two drug trafficking cases. They allegedly happened sometime apart. Just took over the case, go in, get the police reports 5 minutes before court, speak to my client, go over to the state, try to get a bond, can't get the bond that I need. Nebula hearings required where you have to prove where all the funds are coming from. That's very hard in drug trafficking cases. Not because of drug trafficking cases, because how many people have 100,000 or 50,000 or 200,000 to lay out and show exactly where they got it from, unless you're really wealthy, right? So, if you're an actor, if you're, an accountant, maybe you can show then. But most people have a difficulty doing it. So I look at the PC, and the police say in their narrative, and it's like a skinny little thing because they're using a confidential informant. And listen, I'm not advocating selling drugs or doing anything. I'm advocating fighting back the laziness and the corruption that you deal with a lot of police. So this police report says that they observed a meeting between two males. So I'm having a meeting with my buddy in the diner in 5 minutes. So it's not illegal to meet with somebody, right? Then they say that it was then determined that the defendant provided the other person with a set amount of drugs, let's say a kilo, right? And in exchange for amount, but they don't say that they saw the buy. So I said to the judge, I go, Judge, respectfully, the PC is very weak. They observed a meeting, not a drug exchange. And then they said that as a result, that the agents stopped the mail with the suspected cocaine and it was seized. But they don't say that. I said, Judge, I just made a couple quick notes. I go, nothing states that there was a continuous observation of the male that was seized with cocaine in his hand, right? Like, if you didn't see it and you didn't follow the guy and keep an eye on him the whole time, right? Number three, I go, Judge, it says a package weight of, I go, just out of curiosity, was it in a suitcase? Was it in a knapsack? Was it in a briefcase? I go, what was the weight of the container? It doesn't say the net weight of the drugs only. It just says the total package, right? So then, and then I said, Judge, the street value, right? Like the bonds, when you look at bonds, and listen, I've been doing this a long time, but I still make my cheat sheet, right? I say, some of the things for bond, right? Clients, ties to the community, employment history, financial resources, defendants' past and present conduct, and I always address those things. The danger posed to the community, that's a hard one, because this happened within 1,000 feet of a school, allegedly. And there's a school every 1,000 feet, so. But it says, H, the street value of the drug or controlled substance connected to or involved in the criminal charge. And I said, Judge, on each case, it's about a $6,000 street value. Street value is higher, right? If I buy a Xanax on the street, if I buy it at Publix, because I got a script for it, it might cost me $10. If I buy a Xanax, and I don't buy Xanax, you guys, so, but if I buy a Xanax on the street, it's $40, right? Or $30 or $20, but it's a hell of a lot more, So I made that argument. Then I said, Judge, let me direct your attention to the second case, Judge. The second case. It's exact, except they changed the date. And I go, Judge, they want you to remand someone. They want to give them, 100,000 plus bond. But they're playing games. There's nothing in the police report. It's the exact same police report. It's a copy and it's a paste. And the only thing, he goes, no, Mr. Foley, the weights are different. I go, no, Judge, respectfully, if you take a look back, no, they're exactly the same. He goes, oh. And I said, the only thing changed on the whole PC is the date. I'm like, what is copying? How many other defendants, Judge? How many other defendants have a PC that just maybe changes the name of the client? And he goes, I got a problem with that. He's like, State, Mr. Foley's got a point. It really bothers me that the weight is exactly the same, right? There's nothing. Mr. Foley just made some arguments. He goes, so he reset it for a day, and he goes, I'm not ordering the police to amend. I'm giving the police an opportunity. Now, granted, my client, ends up staying in custody for another day. But the problem here is, folks, generally at a bond hearing, first appearance, no one argues anything. And the truth is, I've gone into cases and a judge has stopped me. And each time, right, it's like boxing. If I throw a right hand and I get hit with a hook, right, or I get hit with a jab, I got to start to adjust. So now what I do, like if the judge would have shut me down, I would have said, Judge, I understand that you're not going to allow me to speak, but now I'm going to proffer for appellate purposes. I'm going to proffer the arguments that I was going to make anyway, and I understand that you're not going to listen to them, but the appellate court will, right? If my client decides to appeal. But this judge actually gave me the courtesy. It took me less than 2 minutes to make the argument, and he goes, Foley, I don't do this frequently. He goes, actually, matter of fact, I've never done this as a judge, and I don't know anyone else does, but I'm going to give the state, the day to 24 hours. We'll see you tomorrow to amend, but I'm not ordering them to amend. But this concerns me, state. This concerns me. And I go, yeah, Judge, there's no PC, there's no probable cause. And he goes, Mr. Foley, I get your argument, but there's an allegation of a lot of cocaine here. And I go, I understand. He goes, and so he goes, I have to. He goes, you didn't talk. He called me out. He goes, you didn't. He's like, he didn't say it this way. He just said, Mr. Foley, you didn't talk about the community, and I have a community danger with this much cocaine. So that's something that's worthwhile to be addressed. He goes, I can't have the citizens of this community. So anyway, you see I'm hyped. You see I'm hyped. I talk it and I walk it, baby. No, but I wish it was on something else. But hey, these are your days, right? Every dog has a day and the sun shines on it, right? So today's one of my days, and I try to have as many as possible. I'm Attorney R.P. Foley. Have a great day. See ya.